Counting all these bands, never been to Santa Rosa. Sat up in the cell with a plug from Sinaloa. European model 550 with the blow up. Represent the brown side, rest in peace, Toka.
Hey, yo, what's good with everybody, man? I hope everybody's having a productive day, feeling blessed. And like I always say, it's one life, one chance. We only got one chance to do this right, is get it done. So with that being said, man, I went live earlier to ask for some advice, and my subscribers came through and gave me some of the best advice, so I'm here to do the video. So with that being said, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, always leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Check the links in the description for my Apple and Spotify music. Go ahead and run my streams up, and you can check out my playlist section on my YouTube channel. Check out my music right there. Thank you guys for you guys' time. Most importantly, thank you guys for you guys' support. Now, the advice that I was asking for those that didn't tune into the live was this. You know, people reach out to me on YouTube, from YouTube, and they provide me with great stories to tell. And I don't mind telling them as long as I can extract a positive message, a positive note, tell a story that's grimy, gruesome, scandalous, to show kids what it's like out there that haven't really got into the depths of prison politics, gang politics, prison organizations, so they can open their eyes at least. Because some of us went to prison just thinking it was this, thinking it was that, thinking it was this, and that's it. And then when you get heavily involved in the politics, you start to realize there's more disloyalty and betrayal than you could ever imagine, that you didn't ever anticipate. So that whole, you know what you signed up for? No, most of the time you don't know. You're given the basic fundamentals of understanding what you're getting yourself into. But when you get politicked against and you see how politics really work, you know, everybody in prison wants to be Machiavelli the prince and politic on the next man. That's why people read that. That's why people read the 48 Laws of Power, because it's all it is an art of deception. People are always going to do what they need to do in politic against the next man to further their hand and further their power. Now, a lot of videos have been being posted lately about Raza Unida. You know, the North and the South uniting together against the blacks. So a lot of the narrative in the last couple months has been, oh, the blacks and the Southerners are going at it. Where do the Northerners stand? Oh, the Northerners and the Southerners are coming together. Why can't we do it? Because the blacks do it all the time. I was hearing that narrative a lot, and I was seeing the comments in the comment section. A lot of people just kept pointing that aspect out. Hey, bro, it's cool that the North and South are united. Brown needs to stick together. And I encourage that. And the only thing I ever said was, as long as we don't do it for the wrong reasons. Oh yeah, let's become one big organization and just bully everybody else now because our numbers have tripled. We got the Paisas, the North and the South. Then you have the NF and the Mexican Mafia. Let's control all the prison aspects, the drug trade. Let's punk everybody. Let's kick everybody to the curb. Let's start abusing other ethnicities. No, I'm not a firm believer of racism, and that those kind of alliances going against other ethnic groups is going to be considered racist, and I'm not for that. But that's all I kept hearing, right? Oh, Brown needs to stick together. Brown needs to stick together. And, you know, I encourage it, and I respect my comments and people that made those comments. Like, I respect your get down. I respect your mind frame and where you're seeing this is going. But then I think about moneysign suede. Only because some people come forward with, you know, information that's valuable, information that other people don't know. But they sent me the pictures that are taken on the crime scene. And it's 4 of them. And I see this kid, bro. I don't have no ties to this individual, never met the individual, listened to his music, that's about it. So, you know, I can't be saying, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, bro, I'm one of moneysign suede's advocates. No, I did a couple of videos about him, shared the situations about him, tried to shed some light on the situation. But when you stare at the pictures, your mind frame goes somewhere else. My first instinct was like, damn, bro, like you could just tell he was a young kid. And I seen his outfit, white t-shirt, gray shorts, he had gray socks on when he got hit. And I'm staring at these pictures, and the first thing that comes to mind, I'm thinking like, man, like that could have been me. That could have been me in a lot more reasons than one. Then I sit there and think about, man, all the people, like I have so many stories and seen so many situations where people lost their lives in jail behind prison politics. Some of them are heavily involved in politics. They just didn't, they lost the political battle that they couldn't win. You know, politics against men, you know, it's the best man wins. It's a chess game. Somebody's going to get a checkmate, and then they either lose their lives or they lose their career. It's one or the other. And we forget that how deadly it can become because we continue to play those aspects in prison. Because there's nothing else for us in prison. The prison society runs jail in itself. Nothing else provided for us to actually open our minds and say, you know what? Let's not focus on prison politics. Let's focus on this for bettering ourselves. We don't do that because we're too busy absorbed and obsessed with prison politics. This kid came off the streets from signing a record label. a record deal, making millions. From what I was told, he was the first Mexican to sign $1 million deal or something like that. Either way, even if that's not the case, you know, he prospered as a Mexicano in the rap game. That's what Raza should want. Not this North and South brown unity because prison politics and we need to go after other ethnicity groups. No. Raza should be focused on, man, this street vendor of Mexicanos started getting catering businesses with these corporate companies and they became millionaires. That's something to be proud of. That's brown sticking together. Or North or South establishing transitional housing units with all this money that they've been accumulating off the yard, so that way their homies can parole to that don't have houses. Or this Norteño and this Sureño came together, opened up a business, and they're hiring felons and parolees and giving them jobs so they can stay off the streets. That's what brown unity should look like. But I don't see the brown unity when I stare at these pictures of these 4 pictures of this individual with his mouth open. And he's just laying there. And it shows close-ups of the cuts and the neck. And I see his t-shirt soaking wet with a little bit of, you know what I mean, sangre. And then I've seen the shower, and I see he's laying on it's like a black mat with the little circles. I see that. And I'm looking at his socks, and I'm just looking at how his body was turning yellow. And I'm sitting there like, damn, bro, like that's... like I said, the first thing I thought about was like, man, there's so many people that I've seen lose their lives behind gang politics and prison politics. But if you ask them, they didn't see it coming. If you ask them, they thought they were winning the game. But if you ask them, bro, I could never lose my life in jail. Nobody in jail thinks they're gonna lose their lives. They know there's a percentage that it might happen. There's a danger to this lifestyle. There's a possibility that it can happen. But nobody wants to think about that. Everybody's thinking about making it home at some point. And for those that are not, they're thinking about taking over these yards and becoming the next big homie so they can take out other people. Nobody in jail thinks like, bro, tomorrow I might not wake up. That was never my mind frame. And then when I got hit twice, was my reality check like, bro, it's close. It's getting there. Keep going the route you're going, it's going to get there. And then when my mom seen my medical file for that temporary time she worked at Corcoran, and she seen that I got blasted, and she seen the 7219 is when she came back into my life. It's like, I don't want to lose you. And then she was on the tier when I think it was somebody choked her celly out in Corcoran's shoe. Just choked him, took his life. And she finally understood, man, in prison, it's dangerous. And she came back into my life, and since then, I've always wanted to make her proud. And with this YouTube channel, I make her proud. But see, Money Sign Suede ain't here to make his mom proud anymore because he put himself in a small, ugly predicament, offended a couple of people because of prison politics, was communicating with his girl for whatever reason, and it took his life. We're talking about a young Mexicano that had dreams and aspirations, was going to be a big rap name for the Mexican community, since a lot of Mexicanos and Chicanos are in the rap game now for rap fame, for money, to get their families out the hood, so on and so forth. He doesn't get to do that no more like the rest of us. So I'm thankful my subscribers told me not to post the pictures. I was going to blur them out. It was only to show the pictures, to show you guys that I'm being truthful. I don't want to be on here saying, hey, bro, I have the pictures and everybody thinks I'm lying. No, I seen the pictures. They were forwarded to me. Why? You know what I mean? They were relinquishing information to speak truth about certain situations, and this was one of them ones. Because when they shot me these pictures, they were like, hey, bro, where was Brown Unity when it happened to this kid? Like, what happened there? Everybody wants to talk about Brown Unity now, but remember, as long as Brown comes together, North and South and Paisas, and focus on other ethnicity groups, race wars and race riots, they're only temporary. They're going to go on for a little while. They're going to kick off for a while. Then eventually business is going to get interrupted. They're going to say, you know what? We got to kill the noise because we got to get back to making money. So they're going to prioritize making money over everything else at the end of the day. That's how the end result's going to be. Money. And in his situation, it was about money. And yes, I was read the files and what the reports on what was going on behind Money Sign Suede that I'm not even going to talk about. They read it to me and I listened and I just sat there and I was just, you know, I was personally just disgusted. Because the video I did about him is close to the truth, but there's a little bit more to it. And the people that done it makes it even more disgusting. That's something I don't want to talk about. But overall, just hearing the report being read to me and seeing the pictures and watching this young kid lay down there, that just goes to show that brown unity against ethnic groups, once it stops, the primary focus comes back to our own. We're going to always go back to cannibalizing our own, hurting our own people. Norteños are going to remove Norteños. Sureños are going to remove Sureños. The Black Hand and the NF are just over there playing puppet master while they're taking out each other in the process. So how are norteños and sureños supposed to look up to these two big homies, these two prison organizations, when they're up there busy taking out each other too? Is that the type of proper leadership to be setting examples and be looking up to? No. But yet the mass population of foot soldiers are just following suit. That's all it is. Fear that what happened to Money Sign Suede could happen to them if they decide to go against the grain. Paying taxes, following his rules, writing a letter home. You can't even vent to your old lady now. Because if they hear about it, you're going to get whacked. You speak about it on the phone, you're going to get whacked. So if that's the case, right, they got on him because, he was talking through the phone, which he got disciplined for the first time. But yet these Mexican Mafia members are talking on wiretap phones. These NF members are getting sold wiretap phones. And the feds are just right there watching everything unfold, listening to everything. Yeah, go ahead, do what you got to do so we can indict you later. How is that any different? You can't honestly say all those phones are clean. But we can't hold them accountable. And nobody can hold anybody else accountable for what happened to Money Sign Suede because everybody's too busy worried about, if the blacks and if the North and South come together and go at it with the blacks, we're going to win. Or if the blacks and the Southerners go at it, what's going to happen. As much as I've elaborated small on those aspects of prison and race riots and prison wars, we're still forgetting a different aspect. That once those riots are done, once everything goes back to normal program, these prison organizations are going to go back to being predators. And who are they going to prey on? Their own soldiers. And we're going to start seeing a lot more stories on YouTube about this individual getting hit over man-made laws by corrupted individuals who just think about themselves and their prison organizations. Because a Mexican Mafia member only looks at a Sureño like, bro, that's my foot soldier, you work for me. Nuestra Familia is going to look at a Norteño like, bro, that's them. You're not my carnal. You're my soldier. You do what I say. That's all you're ever going to be. And if that's how you want to value yourself now, like the way I used to value myself back then be prepared to be used and abused and become expendable in the near future. I just hope and pray not too many more people end up like Money Sign Suede in his situation. And I got another friend or a fellow subscriber shooting me the pictures. Like, look, bro, look at this situation right here. Where was the brown unity when this happened? They wanted him for his money. They wanted him for this. They smacked him for this. They couldn't see a young Mexicano succeed, so they took him out. That could happen to anybody. That can even happen to these Norteño rappers that make it big. That's all I'm saying, and that was the message of this story. So with that being said, like I always say, it's one life, one chance. When they got one chance to do this right, let's get it done. Peace.